What's Miles from Black Film and TV? Hello, folks. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good. I've been asking everybody what keeps a relationship healthy. Jenny?
Charlie always says something that I think is right, which is good communication.
Mm-hmm.
Good communication keeps a relationship healthy.
And being honest about yourself and you know, and when you're wrong, when you're right, but also being open to each other's happiness, that, you know, making sure you make space that you're both happy together and separately.
You know, due to the nature of the synopsis or the plot and so forth, you know, in real life, obviously, when there's a period of time when you're not talking to an ex or a friend, do you find yourselves going through this time, social media, to see what they're currently up to? Are you cyber stalking? Do you follow up with asking a friend of a friend, like, how are they doing? How do you try to stay in touch? Or do you walk away completely?
That's got to be a case-by-case thing, you know, right? Like every relationship is different, but I don't think I would suggest to anyone that they like search out their ex online. That seems hurtful.
It's got to be real tempting.
You're not gonna find something you like there.
I feel for people in this day and age. You know, it's like how you got to keep yourself from clicking on that Instagram and seeing what they're up to, and that's got to be hard to do.
Yeah, don't do it.
Now, you guys are the funny. You guys are the ones with the true funny bones in the cast. And I was talking to the other cast members. Did they even try to match up? And they were like, "Nah, they got it." You know, so they got it. Let them do that. You know, but because of the nature of what you've done in the past, did the script work itself out where you just left it all to the screenwriters, or did you say, "Can we add in a little line or so to punch it up a bit"?
I don't remember adding much of anything.
No, me neither.
I mean, the script was really funny, and then when it wasn't supposed to be funny, it wasn't funny. It was more sincere and sweet, and I think we just kind of wanted to follow those guidelines. Like we didn't want to try to make a sweet scene funny, and we didn't want to try to make a funny scene sweet. So look, Isaac and Elizabeth wrote an amazing script, and we were along for the ride.
When you say along for the ride, and then I said, you know, whenever you're reading something, you know, whether it's a TV, something, or a film, and you look at your size, is there a moment in any of your projects where you say, "Oh, I got to do this," and you have to mentally prepare yourself to, like, "Can I do this? Will I do this?" You know, with this movie, you have the threesome scene. With you have the running scene. And did it come naturally for you to say, "Okay, I can work this out"?
I think with the threesome scene, there were some questions that we had to just make sure that we weren't actually commenting on like the different way that people, like many, you know, different ways that people want to live their lives. Like having we just wanted it to make sure that it was funny and not like gratuitous in any way. But that was really great work to do. There was an intimacy coordinator, and we had some really useful conversations. And the day that we shot it, it actually, I mean, I just thought it was like really funny and fun.
Are you a runner, Charlie?
No. It hurts to run. No, I mean, the biggest pressure I had was like, okay, I got to pop my shirt off in a scene. Do I want to look good or do I want to look funny? And I went with funny.
You know, and going back to that, it's like, you know, all actors have to learn the power of no before they say yes. With this, what was it about the script, you know, that said, "Oh, I can do this," you know, as you pass along the other projects?
You know, there hasn't been, I haven't seen a script for like a straight up kind of classic rom-com the way that this script is. And what that means to me is like, you know, my character has challenges. She has ways that she needs to grow, but there's not, the script isn't like, it's not dark in any way. It's actually really like light on its feet and bright in the way that, you know, classics like When Harry Met Sally, they feel good. You feel good watching these people grow. And I think for me, I really wanted to play someone who had somewhere to go, but was not like really messed up, or especially after, you know, months of pandemic, I wasn't really interested in examining any trauma. I just wanted to have a good time, and in a way that is both like there's fantasy blended with how things really work, and I think that blend feels really good.
Yeah, I can get really easily bored reading a script. And when I picked up the script, I couldn't put it down. And I thought, well, boy, if you can hold my attention through a script, it's
Yeah.
probably going to hold an audience's attention pretty well on screen because I really am a disinterested reader. It's terrible. Terrible.
You know, as actors, you can never stop learning. So when you finish this movie, what did you pick up from either the script or the direction that helps you as actors as you go on to your next project?
I picked up a lot from Jason Orley, our director, who always was really trying to push to find some truth in a scene. Even in our big comedic set pieces, he never wanted them to be comedic to the point where they were unbelievable. And I thought, gosh, that is a really good sort of benchmark for what an audience can relate to and click with. And often there's a pitfall in comedy where you're just trying to make something the funniest it can be, but sometimes that pushes beyond the truth of a moment. So I think for me, as I move forward, both as an actor or things that I'm making, trying to find that real sort of relatable truth to every scene and every character, make sure each of the characters are well-rounded and real people. I learned a lot from Jason on this.
How about you, Jenny?
I felt the same way that I could completely trust Jason. I really loved his taste, and I looked up to his intellect and the fact that he's a real movie lover. And I think I learned a lot about balance, because this is I had a baby 10 weeks before we made this movie, and so it's the first time in my life where I wasn't just focusing on myself at work and seeing myself as the center of what I was trying to care for and sustain. And I realized, like, well, if I don't pay attention to my process and my preparation, I let my castmates down. But if I don't pay attention to what's going on at home, I let my young daughter down. And so it was a really beautiful exercise in balance, but also being like completely engaged with many things at once. And I left feeling really, really powerful and much more interested in having a preparatory process for work, because a lot of times, especially with comedy, like, you can kind of know your lines and show up and like improv and just sort of like make it happen. But the script was so good that I wanted to like know my lines and say them and be prepared. And that was harder this time around because I was also occupied at home.
Well, you guys have done well. I think anytime people want to see a rom-com, it's just a matter of whether or not the execution is done well, which I think it is. So wherever you're at, stay safe, and I'll talk to you hopefully on your next projects.
Thank
you so much.
Mhm.